Green Bay Packers, second-year player fantasy football sleeper for 2024. The 2024 fantasy football season will feature several Green Bay Packers players who are likely to be high picks. Among the top choices will be quarterback Jordan Love, running back Josh Jacobs, and wide receiver Christian Watson. Jordan Love is poised to potentially emerge as one of the top quarterbacks in the league this season. Josh Jacobs, known for his productivity when healthy, is expected to amass significant yardage. Despite Christian Watson missing 7 games last season due to injury, he remains a key player in the Packers' first wide receiver unit this year. In addition to these high-profile players, the Packers roster includes some promising talents who could be valuable in the later rounds of fantasy drafts. Green Bay is positioned to be one of the top offensive teams in the NFL this season, offering multiple sleeper options for savvy fantasy football managers. Green Bay Packers second-year tight end Luke Musgrave, a fantasy football sleeper to watch. One such sleeper is second-year tight end Luke Musgrave. Last season, Musgrave played in 10 games for the Packers, recording 34 receptions for 352 yards and 1 touchdown, averaging 10.4 yards per catch. Jordan Love, the Packers' starting quarterback, has shown a preference for targeting his tight ends, which bodes well for Musgrave's fantasy prospects. Megan Shoup of CBS Sports recommends picking Luke Musgrave in the later rounds of fantasy drafts this season. She highlights, "The bottom line is Musgrave is TE1 on a likely top 10 offense in 2024. His ADP is currently 153 on Underdog Fantasy, and he's being drafted as TE17. This is where I see the value that makes Musgrave one of my favorite late-round values in best ball drafts. We can draft a TE1 on a potent offense in the 13th or 14th round of best ball drafts. I'm drafting Musgrave as my second tight end on 2 tight end build teams. I will mix in some late-round tight end builds, meaning all 3 tight ends are drafted in the 13th round or later. For those particular drafts, I'll draft Musgrave as my first tight end and then 2 other tight ends in later rounds. The Packers have bolstered their tight end depth with Luke Musgrave as the starting tight end and Tucker Kraft as his backup. Given the array of receiving options at Green Bay's disposal this season, Musgrave is set to be a significant target in the offense, especially if he can maintain his health throughout the season. Without a definitive number 1 wide receiver, Musgrave's role becomes even more critical, enhancing his fantasy football appeal. As fantasy football managers prepare for their drafts, keeping an eye on Luke Musgrave as a late-round pick could provide a substantial payoff. His position within a high-powered Packers offense makes him a sleeper with considerable upside for the 2024 season.